Greetings enthusiasts of 3D printing. Tostatronic has for you the assembly of the new Ender 3v2. We begin with this preview of our next video with which we will help you to level and adjust your Ender printers. Please subscribe and stay tuned. To check the bed, just produce movement in each corner. If it presents some type of move, it is necessary to remove it by removing the 4 knobs that are at the bottom of it. Generally, Creality offers excellent quality control. If your printer does not present details, we offer you this visual guide so that you know the proper way to assemble and disassemble the base and its components. Between the bed and the support are the springs that provide the cushioning. We carefully remove the bed upwards without forgetting that it includes the glass and that a spring stays in the connector. This is the way we verify that there is no play at the base of the bed and that the tension in the band the shaft allows a smooth movement without offering resistance. We continue the process of assembling the bed in the base. Please prepare the knobs. These are placed as indicated, with the letters facing up. Taking care of the power cable of the bed. Mount it from above and move it closer the screws to the holes of the base. Take the springs and place one by one in each corner of it. The knobs align to the center of the dowels and rotate. It is recommended that you first adjust the 4 knobs to the point where they offer resistance. This is a pro tip. If you want to manipulate your 3D printer, please take it from below to avoid any possible misalignment. Whenever you are going to move or change of place the Ender, you must do it from the lower side profiles. To facilitate calibration, we suggest that you completely adjust the bed, so bring down it as much as possible. It is preferable that it has a low position at the first turn on, and later we accommodate it from below instead above to have a high position and cause the hot end to collide with the glass. Remember, if you want to change its place, take from the lower ends of the 4040 profiles and from there manipulate. It is not correct to lift the 3D printer from the upper frame or frame sides. According to the manual, we take the two 40/20 profiles. Both has the same length, and from the center we removed the threaded rod. The two aluminum profiles have different holes. One has two horizontally aligned or on the short side. The other has two, but they are separated and vertically or on the long side. The one with the two closest holes will be installed on the left side facing the machine. The one with the two vertically separated holes will be placed on the right side. We prepare the Z-limit switch to install it in the following way. The nuts hold it to the outer cloth of the profile. Loosen them a little. Take the profile. Place considering that it has a small stop, which must rest on the 4040 of the base. We recommend that you do not subject the plastic supports to too much pressure, it can burst. The important thing is that it remains fixed. Take your key. Then adjust one by one until you consider that the pressure is sufficient. For each side posts 4 M5 by 45 screws are required, 2 for each profile. This have to go through the profile of the base from bottom to top. It is easier if you carefully place the base on the side to insert the screws and adjust them one side at a time. At Tostatronic we like to start with the pull on the right side. We turn the machine and repeat the process, taking care that the cables do not fall between the profiles of the pole and the base. Remember the top of the end stop of Z that we mentioned? It is necessary to adjust it down in such a way that it rests on the base profile. It is time to work with the Z-axis. For this we take the motor and the 2M 4x18 screws, in addition to the threaded rod. As you can see, the rod has no side. The aluminum coupling found in the Z motor serves to connect the motor pivot with the rod. This is fastened with the screw on the top. In this case, make sure that the pressure is sufficient. It is aluminum, tighten with confidence. To install the Z-axis motor, we recommend that you arrange your cables and go through the bed. The Z motor is going to screw in the two short holes, the horizontal ones. Take the rod and lift a little so that you can align it. Now, hold and take care of it. Align it as best as possible to the post, as you can see on your screen. Creality has greatly improved its designs and the assembly process is becoming easier. With due patience, only one person can assemble their Ender 3v2. We take our extruder to assemble the X-axis. You must distinguish between the two remaining profiles. The shortest is the one at the top, the longest corresponds to the X-axis. This profile is also different on its sides. Please accommodate on the left the side where it is, find the three closest holes. Check that the hanger matches the screw that holds the wheel. The kit includes two couplings for the Teflon tube. We take one and two M4 by 15 screws, and the belt of the X-axis. It is worth mentioning that we are following the process of the manual as it is. Take the extruder and the profile of the X-axis, seeking to perfectly align. The screws are going to be inserted from the back and are screwed through those holes that are to the left of the X-axis motor. Move them closer by hand and then we use the Allen key. It is advisable that you have patience as the point in the one that the long side of the key does not turn anymore. Then we continue the process little by little with the short side of it. At this moment in the video comes the point where the key can no longer do more because of the pressure it offers the profile to the screw. However, it is necessary to tighten them as best as possible without sweeping them. It's important to check that the profile and the support are aligned. One of the main problems that arise in this equipment is that it does not take care of this aspect. The support slightly exceeds the profile. Try to make it as straight and regular as possible. Proceed to install the extruder coupling. For this we need the spanner. Tighten it little until it feels resistance. Now we are going to place the band. It is recommended do it in 2 stages. First, pass the upper part of the band from the outside of the motor block of the axle. You can use the key to pull out the belt. Second, the other end is inserted with the intention of passing under the belt. Go through the whole band trying to it well, and within the profile it's time to couple the fuser on the shaft. The direction in which it must be arranged is with the two wheels on top. Pull the band in such a way that we place it in the center to be able to hold the most easily. Introduce the melter and we pass it over the band insurance. It's necessary that you exert a little pressure so that the wheel jump the resacuentes. Now place at the ends of the band clamping. Not going to make that mistake we show. Has to be pasted the resac to insurance as you can see in the video. Excess that you see to the right is necessary for the adjustment. Turn the shaft to place the block the other end. To the same that the wheels of the bed and the fuser have an eccentric nut for the necessary adjustments. Block V of Z requires 2 screws. As can be seen, it has a notch similar to the one on the other side. There we will place the block that also has 2 screws. The manual indicates that only one be installed. Locate the X-axis tensioner. Is necessary to disassemble it. Pull the band and place the 2 bearings. Locate the thread of the fastening. It must be on the front side. Align it with the bearings and screwed. Check rotation of the band. To fit the cover, the grooves are on the back and top side. The remaining screw of the X-axis covers the cover of the axis and the profile. The flat head screw is placed on the front side, screwed remembering that the cover is plastic. Finally, we put the adjusting nut. We are a few minutes after finishing. Prepare the X-axis. Accommodate the cable and the Teflon tube. To place the axis, it is very important center the threaded rod. Place the axis until reaching the rod. Note that there are two wheels that have not yet caught on the side profiles. Once centered on the hole in the plate on the threaded rod. The movement is made by turning it. We help lower the wheels, now higher on both sides. We proceed to check that the axis is aligned. A simple way is by taking a long Allen key, we lower the X-axis and verify that both sides are at the same or very similar heights. One of our next tutorials will contain all the fine adjustments that we must make to our enders. Please subscribe and be aware of our Tostatronic channel on YouTube. The remaining profile is the superior frame. The direction in which it is placed is with the notches upwards, applying the M5x25 screws. Bring the screws closer by hand. The ideal procedure is to tighten one by one between the two sides, so as not to load the frame to just one. Finally, the screen. We loosen the T-nuts a bit for installation. Two of them remain in the lower slot and one remains in the upper slot. For this step we can support ourselves with a box, taking care not to crush the cable. The base of the screen is also plastic, do it carefully please. Turn the machine to install the filament base. We place it in the upper part as close to the frame as possible. Firmly tighten the screws. Both pieces are metal, sin miedo al éxito. In this sense we can tell you that unfortunately Creality keep placing it inside, in the part upper frame. The weight of the filament becomes mass and accompanied by vibrations produces a negative effect that is transferred to our prints. In one of the following installments the complete tutorial on the improvement of this piece. To install the knob of the extruder, simply look for the notch and sit it on the pivot of the extruder motor. Travel the bed to the front. Check the voltage, if necessary we move to the left or right, in this case we place it at 115 volts. It is advisable to check that the screen cable is well connected. Two cables labeled Z come out from the bottom left of the base. One is for the motor and the other is for the limit switch. Have different connectors easy to distinguish. The cable that goes to the Z motor has 4 wires. To make sure it is well connected, you can pull the cable a little in the other. Harness we find the extruder power cable, the cable X-axis power cable, and X-axis limit switch cable. Put the Teflon tube in the coupling and push it firmly. Then place the fuser power cable in its base. Install the insurance for the couple of the filament tube. We insist on manipulating the machine from the bottom as shown in the video. Let's put motor power of X in for the end of stroke of X. It can be helped with a clamp. Introduce it from below and hold the connector to splice more easily. Finally, we check all the settings and turnbuckles. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a like and share. We say goodbye with the first power on of this great little printer and the original audio without filters. I am Dado Poderoso, hasta la vista.